stuff. Chris Ballard, okay? He was on the football podcast from The Athletic.
Yes, with Robert Mays.
With Robert Mays, formerly of
The Ringer.
He used to be the lead.
Yeah, he was like the lead NFL guy for them, I'm pretty
For The
sure.
Ringer. Now he is at The Athletic. He has the football podcast from The Athletic. He had Chris Ballard on there. Great get, by the way. That's a good conversation, especially with a GM that has a lot of answers to give, I assume, on the situations that have unfolded in Indianapolis, this beautiful city that we reside in, the Colts team, especially at the quarterback position over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. You know, because there's a lot of things kind of rolling out about what could have been potentially in conversations with the Colts and, say, like Tom Brady potentially.
Sure.
Whoa.
Sure.
And the Colts potentially, and like, you know, Julio Jones maybe. And maybe the Colts and the numerous weapons or free agents. That could have been because the Colts sit on a pile of salary cap in a year where not a lot of people had it. And now that the salary cap is being manipulated, I don't think there will ever be a time where if you want to sign somebody, you won't be able to, because the way Mike Greenberg down there in Tampa and Veach over there in Kansas City and the Rams are able to do it, they just kind of manipulate numbers, move numbers, kick things down the road, move them to signing bonuses. I think having the salary cap advantage this past offseason was a big deal, because I don't think there's going to be much of a salary cap advantage anymore going forward with the tricks that are being laid out by Mike Greenberg in Tampa being able to sign everybody. I might be wrong. This might be an overreaction because a lot of people just signed one-year deals. But I think in the world that we're living in, a lot of people are just going to want to sign one-year deals, bet on themselves, knowing that there's money elsewhere if they have to, and potentially putting themselves in a situation where they can win most prime time, have fun doing it, and also make a lot of money. I think we're in a much different world. So when the Colts didn't use any of that salary cap, I had a lot of questions because I got a lot of friends in that building still. We live in this city. When the Colts win, the city's better. I mean, this is a town that loves the Indianapolis Colts. They'll sell out that stadium regardless. They sold out when we were 2-14. Now, have they gotten a bit spoiled here? Definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is not even, but they're spoiled because the team wins and they show up, right? So there's a lot of questions about Chris Ballard's decisions, even though Chris Ballard has proved himself to be an absolutely incredible GM in building a team. Now, Andrew Luck, misfortune. He retires 9 days before the season. He brings in Jacoby Brissett. They don't do great, obviously. He had to continue to, but the team and the culture that he has built is a Super Bowl ready team. If Carson Wentz can play well in how everybody expects him to be able to play, the Colts can go. Now, if they had Julio on the team, or Tom Brady or Hunter Henry alongside Jack Doyle, or one more weapon. Now, Chris Ballard talked about it in the interview with Robert Mace. He said, I like Michael Pittman. He said, Michael Pittman, I think he's got a chance to be really good. I thought he ended the year strong. He had a big playoff game with over 100 yards. I didn't know that. What's going on?
Against the Bills.
The stats you guys are telling me.
Was that right?
Playoff games don't count during regular season.
True.
That's right.
Because you guys told me he had 4 yards last year. One touchdown.
Yeah, 2 catches.
That's what you guys told me.
Yeah, those are the regular season stats.
Michael Pittman, though, flashes. Hey, listen. And we all know, number 11, Michael Pittman, whenever he gets moving, he has a chance to be fucking great. He does, by the way. So I agree with that from Chris Ballard's statement. He would continue to go on and say, everybody just ignores Zach Pascal, but all he's done is catch touchdowns over the last 2 years. Ever heard of him? Probably not. Ever talk about that, Connor, is what Chris Ballard just said to you? And then you get Paris Campbell back. That's a big bonus, and he's looked great during the offseason. We think we're a little better than other people do. Okay, so Chris Ballard says, in this building, we've seen the unfortune that we have, or the misfortune that we've had with injuries at key positions. You haven't seen the recovery, the rehab, the weapons we have. But if the Colts, don't go on and win a lot of games this year, people are going to wonder if T.Y. Hilton was able to get a little bit of help on the other side. Michael Pittman can be great. I hope he absolutely is. He looks fast as fuck whenever he's wide open and running and not hurt. Paris Campbell, incredibly quick. A lot of people forget about Nyheim Hines also. I mean, there is a lot of great stacked players. But if it ends up being T.Y. Hilton getting triple teamed or triple covered almost every single play, I don't know how this whole thing pans out. Chris Ballard's a GM. I'm not. I have a lot of faith in everything he's built, but there's a lot of questions. That's a good get by Robert Mays over there.
Yeah, you mentioned Hines. Like having Jonathan Taylor and Marlon Mack in the backfield, it takes a lot of pressure off those wide receivers.
Team's ready to win a Super Bowl, that team.
Absolutely. With that defense,
if
too.
The defense is so good. And this is not just an Indianapolis bias, which I get people claim I have a bias for. I don't even know a lot of people in that building.
I fucking hate the Colts.
No, I'm not.
I still think they're going to be good.
You do. I mean, you do.
I hate the Colts. Probably more than any other team.
Okay, that feels good, though, I think, for Colts fans to hear because every other city hates New England.
Yeah.
And New England fans hate the Colts. So that at least makes, which, by the way, even more so to this city. Like, hey, this team has won for a long time. The building is ready to win. It's like a built place. You just got to hope that a weapon or two stays healthy, T.Y. can get going, and Carson Wentz isn't broke.
Yes.
Well, to your point about, T.Y. getting triple teamed, like if in the end Julio has 2 big games against them with the Titans and they lose the division because of it or something, and it'd just be an extra little, knife in the gut twisting it. Would not be good. Julio catching 2 touchdowns as time expired against the Colts.
So Andre Johnson did that against the Houston Texans for us. Mm-hmm. We didn't. I don't know why we didn't use it. We didn't throw him the ball. I don't know why we didn't.
Pretty good player.
The Texans.
Yeah. But then we played the Texans and he had 2 tuds. I think it was it was awesome. And I thought to myself, we should do that maybe next week. I don't know what happens. I don't know. I don't make the decisions, I guess. But I bet those touchdowns for him felt so good. Julio, I don't think he has that type of feeling for Colts. But the Colts were definitely a team that could have made a play for Julio Jones and chose not to. And at this point, Julio has probably found ways to stack chips on his shoulder, let alone everything else, with how he's the aside from guy as a wide receiver, everybody says. If he has 200, he won't. That Colts defense is good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
so is Julio.
Well, and then Ballard said in this interview, I'm not going to pay B players A+ money. And I'm like, whoa. Are we talking about Julio?
Yeah, slow down.
Are we talking about Julio?
No, he was talking about New England, that spending spree they went on where they signed a bunch of mediocre players, did a bunch of money.
Whoa!
I also had that thought.
That Nick Maroldo fellow pie. So, hey,